Hello everybody, Jason WWF Revolution Cave for the second video of the day. That's right. Told you I was having some stuff come in the mail. Let's review some of the pickups over the last week or so. We've got the Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling board puzzle that will be displayed just like this on a shelf. We have 3 fantastic WWF coloring books with lots of pictures to color. And today something came. Now, I am thrilled about this purchase. Look, this item is on eBay right now for many buy it nows. There's probably 20 listings of this at buy it now, and they range from, you know, $25 with $6-7 shipping to $49.99. Really no auctions right now. I was watching an auction. I was bidding on an auction a couple of weeks ago of this item, and I bid it up to probably 15, and I think it sold for like 23 or 24. And, you know, for some reason it got in my head and I became a little bit obsessed with it, and I wanted it. And so I would keep checking, and the other day I checked, and there was one at auction, and it had just started, and it said $3 was the opening bid, but it also had a best offer feature. Now, I haven't seen this before, or I've seen this before. I haven't seen it as a seller. I don't know how to put it on as a seller because I like the idea. I like the idea of it. The opening bid was $3, but there was a best offer. There wasn't a buy it now, there was a best offer. So instead of putting the opening bid of $3, I offered the person $8, and they took it in a heartbeat. And I was like, okay, thank you very much. And I messaged them and said, thank you very much. They had 0 feedback. They were a brand new seller. They just started May of 2024, I saw on their feedback page. So I sent them a nice thank you. I'm going to give them a lovely feedback. But for $8 going up on the shelf. Now, this is going to cause, yeah, there's going to be something coming off the shelf too. This is going to cause me to, as part of Nup All Night on Saturday, we're going to have to go to Lowe's again. We're going to have to go old school like we used to. We need brackets and boards, ladies and gentlemen, because I have to now start putting some shelving on that empty area, because with the board puzzle and the coloring books and the stuff that the Canadian invasion is going to bring, I got to put up some shelves. And this is going to go proudly on that shelf. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is something that I could not get out of my head for the last couple of weeks, and now it's in my hands. It's out of my head, and it's in my hands. A boxed NES WrestleMania video game. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. WWF WrestleMania for Nintendo, boxed. That is correct. Now, the gold standard of this is complete with poster, and the poster is this cover. A little 11 by 17 poster, whatever. It's not a full-size poster. It would have looked great on the door here that's eventually going to become like a poster center. It would have looked great, but unfortunately it is not in here. But what is in here is the game, a piece of styrofoam, and a case. So we've got WrestleMania, we've got the case. Now, WrestleMania is going to go up on eBay with the case for like a $10 buy it now. Probably because of the case. If you're collecting the cases, I'll probably put it up there, $10 buy it now with media mail shipping, you know, $4 or whatever, and I'll just leave it there until somebody bites on it, because I already have WWF WrestleMania. And really, all I got this for was the box. And that's why I only wanted to spend a few bucks, because basically I'm buying a box and maybe flipping a game. If I flipped a game for $10, I got this for free. and made $2, which is kind of cool. But this, for some reason, has been on my mind, and I've had to have it. The back is pretty good. I like the back. I do have a pro wrestling Nintendo game box, so that is going to go up. As I was looking over there earlier, my title match pro wrestling for Atari is going to go on the shelf as well. So we're going to have the Nintendo game. We're going to have the Nintendo WrestleMania game. We're going to have the Nintendo Pro Wrestling game. We're going to have the Atari. I might grab the Steel Cage. I might try to get all the WWF wrestling games boxed. I might try to get Tag Team Wrestling boxed. I might try to get Muscle Wrestling boxed. I don't know. Is that going to be a new sub-obsession? Maybe. But for now, I had to have this, and I got it cheap. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, great item. Now, I have told many stories about this game. So many stories. I'll tell it again for some of the new people to the channel. Every time I put up a WWF wrestling related pickup item video, I grab new subscribers, and again, that tells me what people are into. And so I will continue to push the wrestling on the channel. But this, for the new subscribers, this was one of childhood's biggest disappointments. Yeah, I know there were others, divorce and, switching from Catholic school to public school and, stuff like that. But this game was one of the biggest childhood disappointments. It started at a peak of just overwhelming joy, and then you fell down the Nintendo ladder and you were crushed, because this is probably one of the worst wrestling games there are. But it was the first, for me, I think, what is it? Micro League Pro Wrestling right behind me, I think was more computer, but this was the first licensed wrestling game. And I had played the NES Pro Wrestling game so much and absolutely loved it, and just couldn't imagine how great it would be. And I played Map Mania in the arcade, and I just couldn't imagine how great it would be to have the Map Mania setup, the pro wrestling setup. They're kind of similar with WWF characters. How great is that going to be? The Map Mania game, it's so good. Let's fill in Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. No. The best part of this game is like the opening screen. This is awful. This is a terrible game. It's not a wrestling game. It's like a kick punch game. There's really very few moves you can do. And you really just kind of fumble around a ring, like robots, just kicking and punching. And it's, I think each wrestler can do a move, so it was a massive disappointment. It's made by Acclaim. I think that they are, fairly notorious for bad games. But I just hate that this was the WWF game of our childhoods. They got better. I don't have a lot of experience playing WrestleMania Challenge or Steel Cage Challenge or whatever the other wrestling games are. King of the Ring, I definitely have never played King of the Ring. But, I was out of Nintendo by then, and I wasn't really playing wrestling games because they just weren't that great. The next time I got into wrestling games was the N64 with the WCW games. They were, worlds above anything we'd ever played before. And of course, still doing the arcade. What was the arcade game? I can't remember. But there was tag teams, the WWF arcade game. Man, I don't know, can't remember it. But that was awesome, and then you get this turd. But I had to have it. I had to play it. I had to try it so that I could hate it. And I remember, I've told this story before, my grandmother, she worked at a grocery store called Wegmans here in upstate New York. Huge chain of grocery stores. And there was a video store in the grocery store, and she worked at the grocery store. And so she had, to me, she had first dibs on anything. So I would literally call her every day at work. Some dude would answer, yeah, Wegmans, can I help you? Yeah, can I talk to Jan, please? Okay, hold on. And then she'd come to the phone like, what happened? Is your grandfather dead? No, Graham, can you try to get me WrestleMania from the arcade? Oh, you son of a, wait till I get home. And one day she finally got it. And I think I ripped it out of her hand, may have even tackled her over, out of my way, get out of my way, run up to my room, probably trip up the stairs, skinned my knee a little bit, ran into my room, put the game in, red light flashed, pull it out, blowing it, put it back in, and started up WrestleMania for the NES. And then within minutes, couldn't believe the disappointment. But the disappointment is minimal today. The excitement is here. It's almost like she brought it home from the video store, because I'm pumped up to have this simple little box displayed on an upcoming shelving this weekend on Up All Night. WrestleMania, the NES game in box, is mine. The game and case are going up on the eBay. That is all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night now.